This is a Marvel Rivals gameplay concept for Ant-Man and the Wasp, featuring artwork and visual concepts by Louis and Attribution, and you can find links to their pages in the description. I envision Ant-Man and the Wasp as a tag team duo character the same way that Cloak and Dagger work, and as you switch between them you can take advantage of their different abilities and playstyles. When playing as one character, the other one will shrink down into their small form, and provide a passive benefit to both the character being played as and nearby allies. Although they'd technically be classed as a strategist, they'd work as a jack-of-all-trades type character, being able to adequately dip in and out of each playstyle as long as you're competent in each role. Wasp would be the healer aspect, Ant-Man would be the DPS aspect, and the Ultimate would be the tank aspect. And while this makes them highly versatile and adaptable, it also means you have to take into consideration which role is required at any given time. First of all, let's cover Wasp's gameplay. At normal size, she moves similar to Lunar Snow, using her wings for propulsion. Her primary ranged attack with right trigger is the Stinger Blast, which heals allies and damages enemies. Pressing circle shrinks her down into her flight mode, which from another player's perspective looks very similar to how Wanda moves in her bubble form. It makes her a very small target and hard to hit, and allows her to fly around in any direction and then enter a slow fall when coming out of the ability. While in her flying shrunken form, she can still use her Stinger Blasts, but they deal less damage and also deal less healing to allies. Wasp's melee attack with R3 is Shrink Strike. It's a fast single hit dash attack that knocks enemies back. It does have a short recharge. R1 is used to switch characters, so you press R1 to switch into Ant-Man, and let's get into his gameplay. Ant-Man functions more as a hit and run DPS. While his damage is on the lower end for a DPS, he's also able to shrink himself down, making him a very difficult target to hit, allowing him to harass and distract enemies. Holding L2 as Ant-Man will shrink him down, and functionally from the player's perspective, this works a lot like Jeff the Shark's swim. It makes you faster, makes you a small target, allows you to run along walls and under small obstacles to take cover, and potentially go unnoticed in group fights where you can stay underneath the action and try and hold the point. It also allows you to perform certain empowered actions. You press square while in your shrunken form to perform Bullet Punch. It deals damage and knocks enemies into the air and has a cooldown. This complements his hit and run playstyle, and while enemies are busy trying to target Ant-Man, it gives the rest of the team time to reorganize or get on the point. Ant-Man's L1 ability is Ant Swarm. He'll shrink down into an untargetable state and be joined by Wasp and a swarm of ants. Deals a low amount of damage to enemies caught in the swarm and heals allies, and is best used as an escape and recovery tactic while you're untargetable. Both Ant-Man and the Wasp share a health pool of 225 health points, which is the lowest in the game. This compensates for their high maneuverability, adaptability, and abilities that make them untargetable or small targets. It also makes up for the fact that their ultimate allows them to enter a tank playstyle. Press L3 and R3 to become Giant Man, which in-game makes you twice the size of Groot. And during the time that the ability is active, you have 750 health points and a whole new set of abilities. Press R1 for a stomp attack, R2 for a punch attack, and L2 for a sweeping kick attack, which each have their own short cooldowns. While playing as Giant Man, Wasp will flutter around him, passively healing nearby allies, but she can't heal Giant Man. Once the ability wears off, or if you're defeated as Giant Man, then you automatically revert back to Wasp. Ant-Man becomes exhausted and is unplayable for a short amount of time, even in his normal DPS form. The duo's team-up ability is with Hawkeye. It's called Arrow Guy, and once both players agree to the prompt, Ant-Man or the Wasp will be loaded onto his next arrow, and the next shot that Hawkeye fires, either Ant-Man or the Wasp will burst out into their full-sized form, dealing extra damage. So it's a great way to deal extra damage, but also to traverse across the map really quickly as well. As I mentioned earlier, when you're playing as one of the duo, then you receive passive benefits from the other. Whenever you're playing as Ant-Man, Wasp will flutter around nearby, dealing passive healing to nearby allies, and occasionally to Ant-Man himself. And whenever you're playing as Wasp, Ant-Man will sit on his shoulder and periodically send out stinging ants to deal small amounts of damage to nearby enemies. So with their two unique playstyles combined with the tank gameplay from their ultimate, it'd be one of the most well-rounded characters in the game. Don't forget to check out the links in the description for the art featured in this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what hero concept you'd like to see next. And as always, have a great day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.